All right, we're here for the Youngry news section. This is the Austin edition. I'm here with David Kogan, and he's going to give us what's going on newsworthy in Austin today.
I mean, I can't speak to Austin's a very big and dynamic place, much bigger than it's ever been. I think a couple hundred people come from California every day, right? So and they're all doing their thing. But Austin is just alive with a lot of entrepreneurship, really a lot, and it's particularly my expertise is in the food sector. So I think there's a huge amount going on in terms of development of concepts, both for supply chain and food growing and food and new consumer packaged goods, but at the same time there isn't much in terms of the infrastructure in Austin to facilitate the manufacturing. So there's a big opportunity happening there, and I think that you see, there's just enormous amounts of venture capital interested in authentic food production brands, and then of course there's the paradox of authenticity and volume, and you need volume to be a business and authenticity to be valuable in this economy. So I think Austin kind of specializes in bringing the authentic to the economy, if you will, and then making it, the economies of scale. So it still remains authentic in the same sense. And that's kind of like, South by is an incredible time for everybody who doesn't live in Austin to come in Austin and share their ideas, but all of us who live here already are here and share those ideas all the time. And I think that you get that. South by is, it's not about who's lived here longer and like that. It's about that when you come in and no one, it's a great meeting place, and that's what South by is, and that's what all these festivals are, because Austin is just a great place in the middle of the country that we used to never really get a flight here because it's not on the way anywhere. Right. Whereas now the flights are really expensive because when everyone wants to come here, it's almost like the next Vegas. It's like everybody says their convention here. It's just the hottest place, and so that hotness is great, but that does not drive me like it used to. You know what I mean? Like being we're the number one city for most things.
You've been there, you've done that.
Not in a bad way, but more in I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to get my piece of the world and my accomplishments, and not confuse my activity with my accomplishments. And you can run around and be very active during South by, and that's not the same as the movers and the shakers and the people who are doing things. And
completely understand. So you mentioned the CPG opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Austin is ripe for that? Why is it the money that's coming in? Is there any numbers behind this theory, or
an article just came out from a group called 10 Capital about the top 24 venture firms, and then all these exciting sort of things ebbing out of Austin, and again, they're conceptual in that your classic CPG model is very small in terms of the business, and then they're using a co-manufacturer or a co-packer someplace else, like Dallas or Florida. Well, the difference here would be, bringing that manufacturing to a closer site, and I think that the future is in the metroplex of the metroplex of Austin, San Antonio for sure being connected, and then the Dallas, San Antonio, Houston metroplex as a whole. So really and Texas is just a great place to do business in that sense. So I think
no state income tax.
Right, exactly. So people like coming here and doing business. You're going to see more and more growth, and I think that the weather's fantastic, and it's just a really great place for really anything and everything. That's why I think every variety of industry, person, and type has been able to thrive here, in the sense that because it's a good open city that's growing and progressive and welcoming, and it doesn't have any sort of stigma as much as, and it's hard to say that as a local, because I guess there's probably dogma at this point, but not as much stigma, because it just depends where you are in town. And I think that it's really just like you should always think. It's the most exciting time you could possibly imagine to be alive.
I think that the biggest thing that I know that's going on right now is the Google building is being built right now, and I know that because every morning they start construction at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and that's a big hole in the ground there too.
Which
so
I can't get down with. I get woken up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning.
If you've been here over time, the bigger the hole, the taller the building. And so I remember all the holes for all these buildings, and it's funny because I don't come down so much because I've been running startups, so you don't get out much. And so every time there's a new big building, but that's where Austin's just striving and thriving toward in so many ways. I don't think you really want to start a website company right now, or an app development company, or anything of those sorts. But but even those, everybody's trying to reinvent themselves right now into a more authentic and more current way. That I'm trying to think of an example, but there's just a lot of great ideas being pursued, and Austin is a great place where people will help you pursue them.
Yeah, 100%. And South by is coming up. You know, we talked about that briefly. As someone who's never been there before, will I be able to drive to work or back from work, or should I walk to work? What's going on?
Where do you work? I mean, probably
closer
not.
to the airport.
Yeah, I mean, no, probably not. I mean, you'll be able to get out. You just won't be able to get back in. And even, I mean, it's kind of amazing to think that people work in these buildings while it's like going down on like, because it really is 24/7, and it really is like 3 weeks long, depending on how you want to look at it, and like. And the population, I mean, like, I don't even know what the numbers are these days, like 100,000 people come here. So, like, the physical population of the city is the same as the University of Texas, and school's still in session, except for that 1 week. So, that used to really set it off, would be that the UT spring break, you know, everyone would leave, and then South by, so then it wouldn't, but now it's
there
like,
wouldn't be any change.
Now people are here for the whole month, and, I mean, and...
South by is becoming a quarter.
I mean, yeah, it is. Well, people spend I mean, you could. Many a business in Austin specifically, and particularly restaurants and food service, have tried to bank their way through South by and then use that to drive the rest of the year. But 1 month will not. 1 month of revenue cannot carry you 11 other months. Maybe 3, but in July it's real hot. And so if you want to start a food truck in March, sure, you're gonna make bank.
Yeah.
In July, it's a little hot to be standing outside eating your hot pupusa or whatever, you know, whatever.
I haven't experienced the humid summers yet, but I'm sure I'm in for something.
Humidity, I'm from Houston, man. The humidity here is swell compared to Houston. In Houston, the air is like chunky. You have to cut it up with a knife. But overall, I mean, but South by, I mean, the beauty of it is still, you know, if you do live downtown, I mean, with no badge, with nothing, I mean, you can walk around and have an amazing time. I mean, you'll get swag. You can walk in places. I mean, they might not be the best places. The best places have lines or whatever. But like, I mean,
a good time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, especially if you like, you've nowhere to be and nothing to do, and no kids and no wife or nothing. I mean, you can just run around. And I mean, if you can't find free drinks and free food during South by, like you're doing it wrong. Yeah, you're really doing it wrong, because there's like lists and like, oh man, I mean. And it's 24/7. It's an amazing experience, really.
And the last thing I want to talk about in Austin is, so they're building the Google building, and I've noticed Austin's one of the few cities that have Google Fiber.
I have Google Fiber.
You have Google Fiber.
I was just Skyping with the guy in Israel, and then before with the guy in Serbia, and on food concepts, and like I was like, I think I'm on the most advanced internet in the world. The guy in Serbia like couldn't get the picture to come through, and I was kind of worried about it. But like I was like, I think I have the best internet on the planet right now.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing with it? I'm like, shouldn't I be
streaming everything?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like,
the world.
Yeah, but all that costs money, so it's like I don't know what to do with this quite yet. But that's why I go to like the WeWorks, and I'm like, don't you guys have internet at home? Like, I mean, you come here, like you're paying. Like, I mean, it just seems odd to me. But yeah, Google Fiber is. I mean, but the internet doesn't go as fast as Google Fiber does.
Right.
Like, only FTP sites would and stuff like that. So it's like it's kind of this interesting paradox of like more is better, but like how much is too much? Yeah, how much is too much? Well, what are you really doing? It's like, I mean, I think cell phones made an enormous amount of money off of people not knowing how much was too much forever. I mean, that's the Costco prop. That's the Sam's Club prop. I mean, is it too much? We'll just buy it. You know, we'll probably use it, and then you end up throwing half of it away.
There you go.
It's the American dream.
All right, well, there's the Austin news update. We've got CPGs, we've got South by Southwest, and Google Fiber. Stay tuned.